So going into phase 6, they've announced that Fantastic Four will kick off phase 6.
Yeah.
And in order to kind of fill in the plot holes, the movies we think need to be made is Shang-Chi 2, Doctor Strange 3, Young Avengers.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
We have Spider-Man 4.
Thor 5.
And Thor 5.
Thor 5 is going to be so sick. Shang-Chi 2. That's the first one that we think should be made, right?
Because we have to finish what they started with the end credit scene.
Yeah,
with
we
the
have
beacon.
to establish where this band is sending a signal to, why it's sending out, what that means for Shang-Chi. He has to get connected to the larger universe somehow. Like he's fairly segregated at the moment.
And if the rings called out to
Kamar-Taj,
then we think they should introduce Iron Fist.
Where else did they call out to? Did they call out to Kunlun?
Kunlun, yeah. And so I don't know if they would use the same logic as was in the TV shows. They are kind of taking the Daredevil TV show, and maybe they'll keep Punisher as well. Who knows? But if they're going to take relatively the same kind of logic they did from the Iron Fist series, you know, we talked about this off camera, how Kunlun, the place that Danny Rand got his powers from, the Iron Fist kind of temple area, that's not really necessarily a different realm like Talo is.
Yeah, it's like a hidden place, but it's a real place on Earth.
On Earth, yeah.
So just like Kamar-Taj is not another realm. It's just a very fortified, knowledgeable place for the
so if the rings are felt, acknowledged, realized in Kamar-Taj, no reason why it can't happen in Kunlun. I have to keep looking at the name every time. I'm never going to remember it. But they keep no reason why it couldn't happen in Kunlun.
Right.
They may have a different reaction though, given that their whole society is based on fighting each other to see who's the best, and then defeating a dragon by ripping his heart out.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact that the rings are over 1,000 years old, because Shang-Chi doesn't know where his father even got them. So what if they originated somewhere?
They
with
could
the
have
dragon of
with Xiao.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is a pretty excellent way.
You know what? I just so originally, right, the 10 rings were actually from Fin Fang Foom, a dragon. What if they change their origin, that they are from a dragon, but they're instead from Xiao? That would kind of be a nice way to tie back to that original story.
Or you could still have Fin Fang Foom, but because we have Shang-Chi's dragon, there's 10 dragons.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. Just spewing
Could be
10 cents.
10 dragons, 10 rings.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything
Gotta
can
do
happen.
something. But I think just because of where we're going, we need as many powerful heroes in order to stop Kang in general. And I think having Shang-Chi train alongside, maybe segue into the ending.
So that's the reason why we want to get into
conflict.
Kunlun, is because we want to have a way to elevate Shang-Chi's power.
Yeah, and understand the rings more and his abilities. Because he was, he took time off after he left his father in the dust.
Yeah, he's not as trained as he could be. And if these rings actually have a connection to Kunlun, then maybe they can help him understand powers in the way that he couldn't by himself.
So we're introducing Iron Fist. We're having Sean. Is his name?
I think that's how that's his his street name.
Sean.
Sean.
We're having Sean train with Danny. We're not thinking about addressing 10 rings in this movie.
No. We'd like to, but we're gonna
sister.
save that.
We're saving it for the street level.
Yeah.
Because nobody in that group has any power. The closest you get is Razor Fist, who has a knife like that comes out of his arm, but nobody there has any mystical abilities.
Yeah.
So they are more of a street level threat.
Yeah, and the next movie idea we need to have in place is Doctor Strange 3.
Yeah. We got to address where he went with Clea before we get to the rest of the movies.
And I think...
Multiverse of Madness was 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why
they didn't just call it 2.
I don't know why I thought there was another one.
Well, because he was so
He was in
heavily
Spider-Man,
featured
he was in Infinity
yeah.
War.
Yeah, so that's why it's not your second time seeing him.
Yeah.
And we need to also pay off the Dark Dimension in Doctor Strange 1 with him locking away Dormammu.
Yeah, he did not defeat him. He just delayed him.
There has to be demons at play as well as Dormammu, because I want to go into the Avengers Kang Dynasty with them, because Loki is in charge of keeping the multiverse intact and safe in the way he needs it to run. So we need to get Loki removed from the chair. Doctor Strange is not going to succeed in any of his plans because Doctor Strange 3 will go right into the events of Kang Dynasty.
So it's going to be the Infinity War ending. You lose.
And as far as plot for Doctor Strange 3, it's that we're picking up where we left off with Multiverse of Madness, where he has to go to the Dark Dimension and deal with incursions that are happening in the Dark Dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
The repercussion of his own actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Dormammu being the head of those incursions.
Mm-hmm.
So do we care about Mordo as a villain for Doctor Strange in this movie?
I'd like to see him around some point. I don't know how he fits in here.
Here's the thing, though. In Secret Wars, Doctor Doom's right-hand man is a version of Doctor Strange. So what if we switch it and it's Mordo?
Okay, so maybe we don't use him in this movie so much, but we
tease him at the end.
Pocket, yeah.
He's been teased at the end.
Yeah.
He's been teased forever.
Well, and then there's also
He finds him through the Dark Dimension.
Well,
maybe he
could.
Maybe that's how we introduce.
Well, and we still need Mordo from 818.
The Illuminati universe.
The Illuminati universe to get his revenge. He's the only one who survived that, and Stephen Strange is to blame. Wanda may have done it, but it's Stephen's fault. So maybe that's the version of him that ends up being at Kang's side.
Mm-hmm.
He probably has more of a grudge against Strange than like the one from 616. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't like sorcerers in general, and he thinks that Strange made a bad move by using the Time Stone against Dormammu. But like Illuminati, Mordo personally wants to get revenge against that Strange. So could be an idea.
So then do we take the idea of removing Loki in order for the incursion to happen where these universes collide in order to create Battleworld? Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Loki would allow that to happen.
I think Loki's purpose is just to give people free will and keep all of these branches alive. I don't think his purpose is contrary to your idea, to incursions, to any of that. I think he actually allows for it to happen. Like we were off camera, we were talking about Spider-Man allowing for those villains to enter into that different universe.
Right.
I mean, if it was Kang, if it was,
but it does pose a danger to his.
He would have branched him.
Yeah, I can see an argument for both ways. He would definitely it's by giving free will, he is allowing you essentially the choice of self-annihilation. But at the same time, if his duty is to try and protect all these branches from dying, then to allow an event that is going
Does he have the power to do that? He might only have the power to keep them alive and going.
I don't know.
Does he have the power to actually look into a timeline, see what's happening, and influence it?
Yeah, he's not.
How much power does he have?
I don't know.
That's a lot of unknown.
That's a lot of unknown. And that's a lot of power to randomly give Loki too, because in the beginning of the Loki series, he didn't know what he could do. He didn't have any belief in himself. He wasn't really that capable, in terms of even the other Lokis that were in the series.
Yeah.
So I think he realized his purpose and gained some power in that way. But I mean, that's the question, right? Yeah. How much does he ascend?
There's a big difference between being able to keep the branches alive and being able to control them. It's like because you can stop somebody from bleeding out doesn't mean you can create life.
Even in his own ability of time travel that he gained from the Loki series, he can only go backwards in time from his point of view.
Yeah.
He can't kind of go anywhere in time. Anywhere in different universes or whatever. He only goes back in his own timeline. So it's just a big power jump. It's not impossible. Mm-hmm. They've done crappier things with Marvel where they've just said, this is real now.
Yeah.
But that's a big power jump. It would be great for him to have that power.
Well,
who knows?
Let's going to go through theoretical both ways. So if the way we want to try and go forward to Kang Dynasty needs Loki to be gone, why does he need to be gone and how is he getting out of there?
Well, because He Who Remains was in charge of the timeline, and Kang allowed anything to happen that he saw fit. So once Loki removed Kang, we could say that God Doom is no longer in control of his own destiny because Loki is now making sure the timeline runs differently than how he wants it.
God Doom?
That's what he's called in Secret Wars. He's in all
No,
white.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Kang
for this,
Doom.
it would be Kang.
Kang
Yeah.
Doom.
Oh, okay.
God
They still,
Kang.
yeah.
So amongst all of the Kangs from the Council of Kang, there's one that emerges as, the person who's going to create Battle World for Secret Wars.
Yes.
And because Kang typically has a history of wanting to, like, even though they're all working together in the council, they always want to be better than
The other,
They all
yeah.
really want to work together. So there would definitely be one who would rise above the others and say, I'm the God Kang.
Like
Yeah.
what happens in the actual Secret Wars book.
Uh-huh.
He creates this battle world with the Ultimate Universe and the 616 universe in order to basically pit them against each other. But then it also brings in other universe Thanos and his crew.
He was also kind of just creating an area for people to exist after the collapse of the multiverse,
Right.
right? I don't know. I don't really remember how he gets that power, but yeah.
Doom essentially is letting everything play out as normal, but there's a character, I don't even know if they're going to bring him in, but Molecule Man. And
I have no idea who he is, but I was just watching another video and they were talking about, they mentioned him too. And
then Prime Reed, who's in, there's so many, that's the problem with the Secret Wars comic book is that there's so many characters they don't even have.
From the Ultimate Universe.
So we can't,
Yeah.
they can't do any of this unless they kind of set it up in a different way.
which
They're
they have to
going
be
to do
thinking
it
of because
differently.
Yeah,
they're
they
doing
have to.
Secret Wars. They had to
Yeah.
have thought about what toys they're playing
Yes.
with.
Unless they're just focusing on the older Secret Wars.
Or maybe it's not even a literal translation. The same way Age of Ultron had nothing to do with the Age of Ultron story. It basically just took the name.
Yeah,
Or
it's just,
Infinity War, yeah.
just the name and a different story.
Right.
Yeah, could be.
Could be.
They're using it to evoke the idea of incursions because that's what you think of when Battle World. So it might not be a direct translation, but let's assume that they're working towards.
But these are
something.
our movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We don't care what they're
We
doing.
don't care what they're doing.
We're telling you what we're doing.
Yeah.
So then we do have Mordo being the right hand to this
God Doom,
God Doom
God King, God King.
So in Strange 3,
Yes.
no Mordo. That's our
I think
conclusion.
maybe
because later.
post-credit Mordo.
Okay.
Again.
I think we get but no, this is going to be Illuminati Mordo.
No, for real this time.
Yeah, for real though, we're gonna set up Illuminati Mordo post credit as maybe Kang pops in and says, I can be the one that helps you get your revenge. Then flip side, we need Loki dead for your story. How does he die? How does he get taken out of the
My
picture?
story.
Dead?
Oh no, you need him alive.
No,
Sorry,
he's
no,
a-
you need
he's
him
a-
gone.
he's
I
a-
don't need him dead.
Oh,
I
you
just
him
need him
gone.
removed from the
Okay.
chair.
Sorry, Tom. I'm not trying to get rid of you. I got a little excited there.
Yeah.
So you need him to stay then.
Yeah.
All right. So we don't really need to establish how.
No.
He's just going to keep staying. So.
Yeah.
He's going to become Avenger Prime, and he's going to lead a multiversal Avenger team in order to defeat Kang. So he's removed from his
This is
position.
in your Secret Wars
Yes.
movie. Yeah, okay.
Because
Oh,
you know
yeah, Secret Wars?
anyone bigger. I'm just
Well,
we're
we're because we were talking
about
one
Strange
side needs
3.
him gone, one side needs him not
Okay,
gone.
okay, yeah.
Because if there's anybody bigger than Iron Man, it's going to be Tom Hiddleston's Loki.
Yeah.
And him leading a team because now he's on the side of
Good.
Yeah.
purpose. He's found his glorious purpose,
Yeah.
and
Twice he found it
in order
the
to
start
keep
and the end of
his
the series.
in order to keep his universe together, to give free will, he needs to defeat what could destroy all the people he loves. So he becomes Avenger Prime
And
to
he's
lead.
been aware of Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be actually a more personal fight for him than pretty much any other character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the way to go.
And he said that I'm not done. So
Right.
yeah.
And that would be a way for him to go.
Yeah,
I'm not stepping on your toes because we're going to get into it, but
You're
maybe
absolutely stepping on it, and it's
see
not
his
going to happen.
brother. So we're going to hop into Thor 5 so we can really mesh it all together and kind of build these movies out.
Yeah.